The Offkai Fansly situation is absolutely disgusting. Man, just by putting up the booth in the main convention hall, this is what they get. This is bound to happen. Let's get it.
Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the very troubling situation involving the VTuber convention Offkai Expo. Now this convention has been mired in controversy in the past for blacklisting creators like Kirsha over wrongthink. However, with this year's convention, there are many featured guests that are very problematic in their own right.
You know what? It's kind of, I don't like it's kind of like a joke itself where they would rather put like an 18 plus website in the main convention hall than hosting a VTuber that they deem problematic. Yeah, that's the joke. Yep, crazy, I know. Holy.
And hypocritical, as we'll see later on in this video. But this year's convention is mainly mired in controversy because there is adult content being featured in open spaces of the convention where minors as young as 13 are allowed to walk around freely. Now, adult content being present at a VTuber or anime related convention is nothing surprising, but typically those sorts of areas are walled off and they require some form of ID or verification to get in, but with Offkai Expo, those as young as 13 can enter those areas, and that is the main concern. Back in May, there was an announcement from Offkai announcing that one of their biggest sponsors is Fansly, which of course is a platform that hosts adult content, and people were immediately annoyed by the fact this sort of sponsor is featured at a convention like this. But
you know what? I'm just gonna make this clear. I have no problem like Fansly sponsoring Offkai because you know what? Like they need the fund they can get. But the problem is why did they put it on the main convention hall? Why did they set up a booth in the main convention hall? Like, I'm okay with having Fansly in a different area within the convention, which is gonna be covered in black curtains, and having like an actual like section of the convention where only actual 18 plus people can go in, and just like access to anything that is 18 plus, especially for Fansly. Like, why would they put it on the main convention hall? That is my only issue.
there's a much more serious concern, as pointed out in replies like this, saying kids walk around during the day. Surely this is not being done while kids are around, correct? Surely we're really not going to put adult content in front of children, right? Well, unfortunately, that's exactly what's happening. As you can see from the layout of the main hall, the expedition hall here, you can see Fansly right smack dab in the middle of everything. And what makes this very disturbing is the fact that minors as young as 13 are allowed in this portion of the convention as long as they have a parent with them or they have a minor consent form filled out. Only in California, ladies and gentlemen, is something like this allowed to exist. Now, of course, this whole problem could be avoided by simply banning minors from this convention. I mean, why wouldn't they just do that in the first place? But instead, they're allowing minors with these exceptions to walk around the convention and be exposed to adult content.
Or yeah, you could say like you could actually like ban minors. Like that is another alternative move for Offkai. But like if they want to have both at the same time there, where like minors can go in and enjoy the convention, and also like have Fansly to set up their booths. Like my suggestion earlier is more lenient because like they both can have fun, Fansly can set up their booth, but in the area that is sectioned off for only 18 plus people can go in, and for minors as well, go around in the main convention area so they can have fun and meeting with their Oshis and with other stuff. So yeah, like that, like for me, like that is a good choice right there. But no, like Fansly just have it their own way without actually thinking.
And as we enter the final day of Offkai Expo 2026, the very apparent reality involving this convention has become true. You can see Fansly promoting their booth saying, Offkai is open. If you're a creator, come collect your free swag bag before they're gone. If you're not a creator, come say hi anyway, we don't bite. Your favorite VTuber is probably at our booth today. Come verify that for yourself. And of course, people are just, again, not very enthused to see this sort of platform being a featured sponsor of this event. But as people are going around the convention, they are seeing that this booth is front and center at the Expedition Hall, which again is...
Another thing is that it's kind of crazy that they actually put a QR code on the booth itself, where if you scan the QR code, it will lead you to the preview page of Fansly. Of course, like there's always gonna be precautions where you definitely need a account and also to verify that you are 18 plus. But picture this, or you know what? Newsflash. Even kids, even minors, have the ability to lie. You know why? Because they can. I did that. I also lied when I was a kid. Like if there were like verifications where I definitely need to verify my age, bro, I'll just open the year and scroll down all the way back to 1900s. And yeah, like it works. Like it's that simple. And in the previews, like some of the previews like of the videos that Fansly would allow, yeah, like some videos are censored, yes, because it is NSFW. But there are other videos as well where actual naked VTubers. Yes. Even if they're not censored, but the video, they are pretty much naked. Yikes.
Is open for minors as young as 13, and things would get even more...
Also like another thing. Imagine like like every kid's, like if a kid would find their favorite Oshi and then they actually found their hidden content. Oh no. Oh no. For you know what? I feel bad for the kid, but if they found out that their favorite Oshi is doing that kind of content, I swear to God, like they will go down into that rabbit hole for many years to come, or even like venturing off to other VTubers as well that produce the same content as their favorite VTuber. It is what it is.
Or troubling, as pointed out in this tweet, where there is a QR code you can scan with no account required whatsoever, no verification, no vetting process whatsoever, that opens up some of the related VTubers at this convention. And obviously I can't play through the video this user provided, going through the various links and videos provided, but of course
alright, here's an example. Like I seen a couple of previews, like this one talk about like the how to what is it? Oh my god, like yeah, something during the activity, right? And also we got Camilla here with the silhouette, yeah. And I think like there was like a uncensored Vixoria preview right here. And then there, like underneath here, like this one, underneath right here, is a sneak peek of a Fansly stream where the VTuber is actually like there's no clothing. Yes, great job, Fansly. Yeah, that's how you garner up your future customers. You gotta start them young.
To give you a very brief and censored description of what we're looking at, you have one VTuber with stuff on her face describing self-pleasure, another one basically doing a striptease, another one doing a job, ASMR, and also many other lewd content, including real life content, not just VTubers, but all of this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously extremely not safe for work, which again is something you can access as young as 13, walking through this convention with no account required, no
like it's kind of like coincidence as well, where like 13 to 17 isn't like the phase where every teenager would go in their puberty phase. Isn't that crazy? So basically, in that certain phase of an age of a teenager who is undergoing puberty, yes, this is the one site that they need to go to, have some sort of like, like pleasure, or all right. You think about it, like you'll connect the dots, yeah.
verification process whatsoever. Again,
Holy.
this stuff is not too surprising at a VTuber anime related convention, but the fact that it's so accessible to minors is the problem. All of this could have been avoided if they just made the convention itself 18 plus, or they restricted access to this booth to the yabai market, which is 18 plus. They could have just done that, but instead they're allowing it in the exposition hall. And of course, you think back to the sort of standards Offkai Expo has, and it goes back to Kirsha. Kirsha was supposed to be a featured guest with a panel at Offkai Expo a few years ago, and I covered this in a video back then, but she was blacklisted from this event. She lost her panel, although they allowed her to continue to go to the events and also buy a ticket, but not be a featured guest, which is incredibly greedy and ridiculous. But she was banned over wrongthink, where after twisting the arm of some of the people behind this convention, they revealed that basically some of her tweets were a little too problematic, a little too wrongthink for this convention. And I remember one of the examples that they provided right here was her labeling her Discord pronouns as Burger Queen, mocking the fact that Discord is trying to force pronouns into people's bios.
What?
But then we have all...
Wait, really? Hey, let me check Discord. I don't think I have one of those. I don't know, like I never really ventured out Discord that far. I just pretty much like go into groups and just read.
All this nonsense involving this year's convention, featuring VTubers like Kawaii Grin here, who had this to say: meet and greet tomorrow at 1 p.m. But I'm in the Fansly booth all day today if you want to say hello. Ovulating, by the way, which is a ridiculous and insane thing to say before not only doing a meet and greet as a VTuber, but doing it not even as a VTuber, but in the flesh. Like, VTubing? Is this what we're doing? Like, yeah.
Yo. I got a gripe for like there's other people that are doing like purity tests whether you are a VTuber or not. But if they found out that you are posting like your IRL self online while calling yourself a VTuber, they will just outright say that you ain't a VTuber because you broke the rules of VTubing. You showed your face, and now you must serve penance.
This already annoys a lot of people, but then this is the focus. But when I looked at this account, I was like, this looks really familiar. And of course, it's because, well, I made a video about this VTuber a couple of years ago. You can see the title, Hypocritical VTuber Risks Career, Slandering Body Pillow Company. So here's the context, a little trip down memory lane here. They called out a company called Cuddly Octopus. They're one of many to fall into this same pattern of behavior, by the way. Cuddly Octopus sells body pillows for VTubers, and Kawaii Grin decided to make a public post calling them out and just outright slandering them, saying that they're selling literal CP because they believe some of the characters depicted were underage and being depicted in not safe for work situations, and were mocking people who disagreed with this notion. Now, reminder, this is back in 2023 when likes were still public on Twitter.
Man, I still remember that Elon did that shit, man. I remember that shit, man. Yo, like back then, like holy shit, I cannot like this on my main account, because if I do, everyone will see what I like. Yo, back then, you weren't supposed to like your fetishes, bro.
And wow, what a better era. Things were so much more fun back then when you could just scroll through the publicly listed likes.
Oh, another thing. Every time where I interact with other people, like every time like I interact with other people, right? Because like if you interact with other people on Twitter, you will definitely see like what they like or what they don't like. They pretty much like be on your timeline for a short while. But then every time I scroll down on my timeline, bro, I can see what they like, man. Like a lot of them, they just like feet. They just love feet, man. I swear.
Of all these people virtue signaling about fictional content and immediately expose them as massive hypocrites consuming
Jesus
the
Christ.
exact same content they're trying to slander people over on Twitter. But anyways, I tried to warn them, right, when they initially made their call out post, which of course is now deleted, where I said your likes are public, like come on LMAO, but they did not listen. So I went forward with a video. Not just because of the tweet, but because of a subsequent stream where she would crash out, call me out by name, mock me as basically irrelevant, and try to excuse her behavior because A, she doesn't know anything about anime and manga, and B, it was only...
Another thing. Like, I swear to God, majority of the VTubers right now, in this current VTuber sphere, they don't really like anime or manga. They just go in, get their model commission, and then they'll just like do normie stuff. Yo, your model is anime aesthetics, and you don't even like have like ball knowledge of any anime at all. Like I swear to God, like a lot of VTubers right now are just LARPers.
Only like one character that she was unfortunately caught with in her likes, which is a outright lie. So I want to watch a small portion of this video with you guys because it's really a great trip down memory lane, and it shows not only the hypocrisy of this VTuber, but as someone who slanders companies in the past, somehow getting to work with Offkai Expo when that same convention banned Kirsha over wrong thing, including jokes about pronouns. But let's get right into it. Rev, what do you have to say?
Yeah, like some people who are like open lolly lovers or open people who like lewd lollies or are like pedos basically.
Like you, by your own standards.
Like, bro, your likes are public. Your likes are public.
They are.
And I don't be liking anything fucking sussy. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. So they did screenshot some, and I do feel fucking terrible.
She feels
honestly,
terrible.
because I didn't even realize, like, some of the characters were underage.
Well, first of all, Your Honor, I didn't know they were underage. And of course, this is her standard, right? She's calling people predators over fictional content and saying this company is selling body pillows featuring CP. And her excuse when she gets caught with that stuff in her likes is that she didn't know any better. But as I will point out in this video,
Yo, I rest my case. LARPers that are anime LARPers, anime fan LARPer alert. They say they like anime, but they don't. I told you guys. They will just go into like do the vtuber sphere and doesn't know ball about anime. Like even like the easiest part of the anime, like just say like you like shonen, just say you like Dragon Ball, just say you like Naruto, or what, like any other shonen anime. Like that is just basic level anime fan. Like you can just start like you can just say like, oh yeah, I my favorite anime character is Goku or Naruto or Ichigo. Yeah, like that's it.
it's pretty clear that she's a massive hypocrite. I'm gonna do you a favor here and get you a whole
Holy
host
shit.
of
That's
images
a lot.
you can see on the screen. This is like the diet version of what I'm gonna do. These are underage.
Okay, holy shit, man. Nazara-san, like Komi's. Holy fuck, even Bocchi, Miku. Is that Gwen? Holy
Characters. There's
fuck.
a lot worse in her likes. There's characters elementary school aged and actual lolicon. But I'm going to start with the
Not an
high
exaggeration,
school
by
age
the way.
characters, a little compilation. And she'll later state she doesn't know anything about anime. So I'm going to give her a little bit of a lesson on these characters. So right there, you got Nagatoro, who is
Oh, yeah, there you
15. Hatsune Miku, who's 16. Hitori from Bocchi.
But Rev, this is 2026. Surely, Hatsune Miku is come of age. You know, for the longest time.
The Rock, who is 16. Komi-san, who is between the ages of 15 to 17 in that series. You have Karine from Blue Archive, who is
Not looking
16.
good for her.
Spider-Gwen, who in the Spider-Verse era is between 14 to 16 from what I can see. And, you know, every single image on this screen would make her a predator for liking them if you
Jesus.
apply her own standards back to her. Now, and then there's the Marin Kitagawa wall as well. But of course, this goes back to that era
Whoa.
with likes being public. It was so easy to expose people spouting off about fictional content and thinking they have the moral high ground when in reality they're massive hypocrites. But it gets way worse than that. So that's just kind of a blanket, easy statement right there where it's like she says anything that's underage, you're a predator for liking characters depicted in that sort of a way. There's a huge compilation of screenshots, and by the way, Marin Kitagawa is 15 years old in My Dress Up
Damn.
Darling, just to confirm that. But she also goes on to make other excuses, basically saying the characters she likes are similar in appearance to her VTuber model, and well, that is a standard I don't think she
Christ.
really wanted to bring up because it just makes her look even worse. And drop.
And they're not like little lolly looking avatars either. They're
Oh.
like full-blown art pieces, and they look very well endowed like women. They look like my avatars.
Well
So I was like,
endowed.
oh, I didn't
And they look like her model.
know.
Wow.
I'm an uneducated anime person, and I guess that's my fault.
Yeah, so this is the part of the video where I'm just going to put the worst stuff on the screen. These are all elementary school aged characters
Jesus.
and
Whoa,
or
whoa.
hardcore lolicon. I will spare you the description here, but like most of these characters are in elementary school or middle school. And she was describing these characters as well endowed and that they looked just like her own VTuber.
Wait, hold up. like down here. This is Detroit Became Human. Like, is it that the female android? I forgot her name, but yeah. Yeah, this one's an android
model that is more busty, of course. I mean, it's just insane levels of hypocrisy. And this was really the reason why I made this video back in 2023, because not only did she get caught on Twitter being a hypocrite, but she went on stream like this, making her heart-wrenching soliloquy, defending herself and deflecting any sort of blame, taking zero accountability, but also name-dropping me as well.
Damn.
I don't read manga, so I do feel fucking terrible. I didn't know that some of them were underage because they're like,
Man, she's giving off tourist. She's giving off LARPer tourist energy. But I don't know, like, it's back then, 3 years ago versus now. Probably she read or watched a couple of anime. But back then, yeah, I would call that like tourist LARPer energy that's become a VTuber without having any ball knowledge of any anime at all.
well endowed, they look like adults. But that's the thing also, like, I feel bad. I didn't know they were under, like, Rev says Desu.
Ooh, shit.
Oh, that's like a random account.
It's just a random account. Well, that random account is still here in 2026. Kawaii Grin. And here I am still making YouTube videos. And here you are at Offkai Expo doing a meet and greet for Fansly. How things have evolved over the years. But this all goes back to the standards at Offkai, right? They banned Kirsch over wrongthink, but they allow this person who has a history of slandering companies and being a massive hypocrite and a tourist who doesn't know anything about anime or manga but calls people predators over the same content she consumes as well from those mediums. It's just insane. It's just insane. It really reflects terribly on this convention. And now she's there working with this booth that is accessible to minors as young as 13. Where's that moral high ground she used to have, right? She would virtue signal about this stuff so hard back in the day, but has no problem working with this convention, knowing full well minors as young as 13 will be walking around and have access to this booth she is doing a meet and greet at, where she is promoting herself in a very, let's just say, risque sort of way. Not to mention the fact that we have the whole QR code situation. But yeah, this is a terrible look. I'm not some prude. I'm sorry. Like, I am not some prude for saying that VTuber and anime conventions should have guardrails in place to prevent minors from accessing adult content. Is that woke of me? Is that too woke of me? Like,
think about it without including some politics here. Like, think about it, using common sense. That even, like, here's the thing, like, if we go to an event where an all age event, right? Like, think about like non-convention event where like everyone can go in, have fun, interact with one another. All right, I'll give this an example. A circus, right? A circus. A circus is an all-age event where even like kids can watch the acrobats, the elephants, the tigers jumping through hoops. It's a show, right? Like, everyone can enjoy. Adults to kids, like they will watch the show and see the spectacle of the circus. But the sponsor of the circus is also putting up a special event where they could add like a little strip club at the side. Isn't that moral? Or I don't like isn't that like right? Like you're going to an event, but at the other side, within like the vicinity of the circus, there is a mini strip club. Yeah. Like, holy shit, man. Like a lot of people will have problems with this because, you know, like it's pretty much in the main area and there are kids watching. That not a good look. Like the best common thing is that just don't put a a risque event near the main event, which is the circus. Why not just put it like away and just bar it off or just curtain it off in that section where only adults can go in and, you know, enjoy. But no, not in the case for Offkai, I guess.
It's so simple. They should have made this an 18 plus convention, or at the very least, made this sort of stuff in the yabai market, which is supposed to be for adults. The reason why they didn't do that flabbergasts me. I don't understand why they wouldn't do that in the first place. It seems totally irresponsible. But hey, that's the situation we're in now, and as they conclude their convention, I hope it was all worth it, because their reputation has continued to take a massive blow thanks to their antics this year. But that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed, please consider giving the video a like, consider subscribing, and turning on notifications for daily uploads, as well as multiple streams every week live here on YouTube. But overall, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah, it's kind of shame for Offkai to, you know, put up a Fansly, like letting Fansly to put up their booth at the main convention area. But that, in regardless, even though like Offkai is already over, despite with Fansly, you know what, like Fansly is pretty much like a successful event. Like I seen a lot of videos, especially I saw like a couple of clips when my Kamiyoshi sang in a stage, you know, like singing her original song. You know what? I'm happy that Offkai did that, or letting her, you know, perform her songs. And yeah, despite all this drama right here, like there's some good sides, good things happen in Offkai, and you know what? It is what it is. Like there's always gotta be drawbacks, especially with Offkai, with the Fansly situation. But overall, the event is a success. Everyone's having a good time, and yeah, hopefully in the next convention where Offkai would hold their next convention, probably next year, or probably a couple of months. I don't know. I don't know like Offkai's schedule, but they need to like actually think twice before, you know, like having a 18 plus booth at the main convention area. Like they either be like what Rev suggested in the yabai market where everything is 18 plus, or just make the whole convention 18 plus, or with my suggestion where they could just section off a part of a convention where only adults can go in. Yep. Like they need to reassess their evaluations when it comes to these type of things. But hopefully like it will never happen again. Hopefully, Offkai, like you need to learn your lesson.